What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Willie Rodriguez, where we continue to intertwine everything outdoors and give it to you in a beautiful, awesome way. Today, we have a very special guest, another very special guest. This guy is a monster in the space of what he does, very small niche. Has climbed to what is the top of his career as right now, where he is right now. We're sitting with Erick Santana from Bay's Aquatic Gardens. Thank you so much, brother, for coming today. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here today. And all the stuff you do, because we're going to dive in deep into all the things that he does, is so awesome and it's so creative. You're, like I've said before, an artist, really.
100%.
You bring your flavor to every piece that you build, everything that you do, and you've, created so many different streams within what you started doing, and now you do all these other things. And you're a monster. You're very well known. You have a YouTube channel. You have a large following on IG. And you're very, social when it comes to that. You're a character, right? You think outside the box. You got your shades on, looking fresh, right?
100%.
And you're a fun guy to be around. So today's episode, guys, get ready because it's gonna be another banger.
It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic. So, Erick, tell me about what you do. I mean, how'd you get into what you do today?
So, long story. Wow. It all started with breeding fish. I breed cichlids, doing fish tanks. That's where the love for the fish came.
How old were you when you were doing that?
Since, I don't know, 10, 12.
You have a background in it? Parents have a background? Uncle, aunt?
No, I just like fish.
You
I'd go
just like
fishing,
fish.
and then I started collecting fish. I'd catch fish, put it in tanks, and then I started learning about, breeding tropicals from Africa and stuff like that. And then I have a construction background.
Okay.
As a child, my dad's a general contractor. So as a child, my summers were going to work with Bobby.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my dad's an old school, hardcore Cuban,
Yeah.
super straight edge,
Yeah.
By the book. And I learned from young. When I was 12, 13, I already knew how to read plans, how to decipher rebar and columns, do tie beams, form already. By 15, 16, I was forming, doing carpentry, so I had the construction knowledge.
Okay.
Started learning the engineering. And then I was always doing the fish. And then in my early 20s,
But the fish was a hobby.
the fish was a hobby. I was working as a form carpenter for a trade union doing the Venetian Causeway toll.
Oh, wow.
I was working as a laborer doing carpentry,
Okay.
getting paid like $23 an hour.
Okay.
Because at that point, I already had told my dad to go himself. We were bumping heads. I'm like, I want more money. He's like, tú no sabes lo que está haciendo.
Yeah.
And I went on my own, and I started working for the people.
And this was at what age? 23?
24, 25.
Okay.
I started Bella's Aquatic Gardens when I was 24, 25.
Okay.
That was 05 when my daughter was born. That's where the name Bella's Aquatic Gardens.
Okay.
That's my daughter,
That's your
Isabella.
daughter's name. Okay.
I put the feminine face to the company because
Yeah, because you're a pirate. You're the palm pirate.
they see the name. Oh, it's called Bella's.
Yeah.
Y después viene Gorila. Oye, vamos a hacer el pond.
Hilarious. Uh-huh.
And then,
That's marketing, baby.
yeah, that's it. And that's what I went to school for. I did graphic design.
Oh, wow. So you have a college background.
I have a college background. I didn't get far in college. I fell in love with a prostitute. I fell in love with a stripper, and college was very short.
Okay. Guys, I told you this was going to be an epic. He said it was going to be epic.
But I did art. I got a scholarship from art. With this, went to International Fine Arts College in downtown.
You're a Miami local.
Miami local. I went to St. Brendan.
Okay. You went to St. Brendan?
Graduated.
Wasn't
from
St. Brendan?
No, not an all-girls school.
It was an all-girls school.
It's not an all-girls
I mean, it
school.
is, right?
No.
Okay.
There's one guy for every 10 girls.
Okay. So basically.
So like my senior class, I was sitting in a class and it would be like me, 3 guys, and 30 girls.
Okay. So that was the school that you went to.
That was the school I went to. Private school. I graduated from high school. High school was fun. And then, after that, I did craziness,
Yeah. You
and
started. You were working with your pops. You went to college. You tried it out. You did what you
I
needed to
didn't
do.
care for that. And then I did construction. I did flooring. You name it. I was doing it.
Then you opened Baya's Aquatic Gardens, 24.
And then 25 years old, I opened Bella's. And I did that for many years while dabbing in other things.
Okay.
And it was a front.
Yeah. Why was it a front? Why did you say it's a front?
No, we won't even get into
We
that.
won't get into that. Okay.
And I did the ponds because I loved it. I built a pond in my backyard. I was like, oh, I want a pond. I built a pond.
This was the first pond you ever touched.
No, I think I had worked on other ones, but like the first one I did for myself was in my yard.
Okay.
And I grabbed the Yellow Pages at that time, 2005. It was pre-internet, right?
Yeah,
I still had a Yellow Page in the house. So I grabbed the Yellow Pages. I look up ponds. I actually looked up water lilies. So I'm looking for water lilies. I go, water lilies? No listing for water lilies. I'm like, aquatic plants. No listing for aquatic plants. I'm like, well, we're in South Florida. This is plants and farms. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I'm in the wrong business. That's where the light bulb went, boom, boom.
And you're like, this is what I'm going to do.
I was like, there's a void here, right? So I look up general contractor. There's 2,700 contractors listed. I look up flooring contractors. There was 1,500 listed in the Yellow Pages at that time. And I was like, wow, nobody here. So I look up ponds. There was 3 or 4 people. Angel's Hatchery, which he's a farm right here in the Redlands.
Okay.
Paul, great guy, book of knowledge.
Awesome.
Been here for 40 plus years right
Growing
here in
fish.
the Redlands.
Okay.
Growing fish, selling fish, went to Japan. That guy's a legend. I could tell you a whole podcast on stuff that guy's done.
Okay.
Marvin Gardens, which I think he passed. He's no longer in business. ¿Qué más había en ese tiempo? And the Neighborhood Fish Farm. That they don't build ponds.
Okay. They just sell fish.
They sell
They're
fish.
breeders.
And they were listed on the ponds. And I was like, huh. And I think there might have been one pond guy. Anderson's Landscape.
Okay, I know Anderson
Which is,
Landscape.
but it was, I think it was the son, but the father of Anderson's Landscaping goes way back. He used to do stuff in Fairchild.
Okay.
So I was like, coño. I call the people from the Yellow Pages. I'm like, yeah, I want to put an ad. I knew how to build fish tanks. I had built one pond. I put an ad, and I go limpio. You know what I'm saying? I'm lucky that I was able to get past my learning curve.
Of course, that knowledge.
Before social media hit, and I'm still able to preserve my reputation and not get tarnished. Like I've seen some people coming up, and you do shit when you're starting. Shit goes wrong.
Yeah. You're learning through the process instead of having the background of already have done it and learned.
I didn't have nobody who held my hand and I could call. And 10 years after being 10 years after doing it, I discovered the internet and I started talking to other pond builders. But I learned Miami style. Yeah. If there is such a thing.
Yeah, the hard knock, school of hard knocks.
I build different than everybody else across the country. So over the years, I've networked with people across the country. I've taught classes in other states.
Wow, that's super cool.
So, and then I have a style that's established. A building ethic, so to say, the way I build, I adapted from the pool industry, and then I use, all the mechanical, engineering aspects of the pond industry, so I can move my water correctly, and make it function.
Yeah.
Because a lot of ponds here don't work right. They build them like pools, and then you have problems.
Wow. So there's so much that really goes into it. And like I was telling you before we started filming, you got to be, you got to have big balls to do what you do. Because to take, a big fat check from somebody to start doing something, you got to know what you're doing and you got to believe in yourself, right? Which is what you learned along the way before you ran that ad on the Yellow Pages back in the day.
100%.
So then you ran the ad on Yellow Pages.
So I ran the ad on the Yellow Pages. My daughter had just been born. I took a maternity leave. I think my phone already had started ringing. That was January, October. The ad came out. So yeah, I had a January, and I took a leave from work, and I got a couple of calls for a pond. While I was sitting in South Miami Hospital, I went to go see the ponds. I did the jobs. I made like $3,000 in one day.
Wow.
I was like, oh, this is it. I installed the pond. And one day I charged the lady $3,500. I paid $500 in materials. I picked up the rock from a construction site down the street.
Wow.
I hosed it off and I built her pond. She's like, oh, how beautiful here. And one day I was like, oh, I'm not going back to work.
I'm not going back to work or school or none of this. I'm going to keep on going.
And
Wow.
and since then I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. You know,
That's crazy.
and I haven't looked back, and I just keep learning, and try to different things and improve my skill. And you know, for a while I was just like building. I didn't care about koi fish. I was like, koi fish are dirty, ugly fish. You put them in a pond, they eat and shit, and they f everything up. And that was my attitude back then. And that was like 10 years ago when me and my wife got together. That's what I told her, literally. I met her. She worked at a fish farm, the neighborhood fish farm. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No. Is that the one off in by Horse
Country.
Horse Country? I've been there.
I went over there with a client. I saw her. I was like, "Oh, she's cute." Yeah, I threw the wrap, and she took it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, you reeled her in.
Yeah.
Reeled in the
I caught
marlin.
I that's a funny story. I made her jump in a pond and catch the fish.
You put her to work. That's hilarious.
Yeah, she got mad at me the first time I met her. So,
But now you guys are married.
now we're married, you know. So, but quit my job, and I started building ponds. And I was doing other things, doing some other illegal things too on the side. I ran into some legal troubles. I went to jail.
Oh wow.
You know, I didn't learn.
Yeah.
I thought I can do both and juggle it.
Okay.
You know, and it just doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
I try to keep a gangster, like they say.
Yeah.
You know, but it's better to be
Straight, man.
Straight,
You sleep good at night, man. You know the
And-
cops drive by, you wave at them, say good morning.
exactly. No,
And
the
you don't
cops,
have-
the cops are my clients now.
Yeah, they're your buddies.
You know.
And it's crazy how the tables have turned, but it took you getting punched in the face a couple times and learning, going to jail, doing it again, doing this, doing that.
I'm going to prison.
Going to prison. So not jail, but prison. You know, to really teach you. But the good thing is that the light bulb turned on again after all of that.
You know, and I'll be honest with you. It's all about just being real with yourself.
Yeah.
Because when things started going really, really good for me, and I want to say it's about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, Aguasi. And I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm not going to lie anymore.
Yeah.
Not even a white lie, not even to exaggerate the truth a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that if I'm hanging out jodiendo with you,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But on a personal, professional basis, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
If you're cheating on your wife, you're gonna get caught with me, homie.
Yeah,
'Cause
don't tell me.
I'm gonna tell on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
because
unconsciously.
You don't want no problem.
Unconsciously, because I'm just not gonna see mentira. And since then, with my business, everything, like if somebody comes and their pond is ugly, oh yeah, bro, your pond's ugly. It's a piece of shit.
You tell them straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Whoever did this.
Garbage.
I swear to God, everybody I go to, I look at them. People get mad sometimes, offended.
Yeah.
I go,
well, it is
I go,
offensive.
I go, who built this garbage?
But that's just your character, and they don't know you.
And that's just the way I keep it. I try to keep
Yeah.
it real.
Uh-huh.
Y since I started doing that, a mí todo se me va bien.
Everything's good.
Everything's good. You know what I'm saying? And I just keep it real. And if it's ugly, it's ugly. You did it wrong, you did it wrong. If I f***ed up, I f***ed up.
Yeah. So
You
now, how long have you been doing the bigger things that you've been doing?
Well, in total, it's been 17. This will be 18 years.
18 years you've been doing it, but how long has it been that you've been able to start building real stuff? Like
Hitting
the
home
high
runs
end,
in the last 10 years.
The last
8
10 years, 8 years.
Botanical gardens. We've done Deerfield Beach, Arboretum for
Google
Public Park.
Google this guy so you can see his work.
The
Deerfield
Arboretum.
Beach.
Hialeah Gardens, Botanical Gardens.
Wow.
Uh,
The Fairchild, you told me.
if I do Fairchild, everything at Fairchild that has to do with water and pumps and waterfalls.
That's all you.
We got our hands in that.
Okay.
The Victoria Pond in Fairchild, we ripped that whole thing apart and redid it at the beginning of the pandemic.
Wow.
The rainforest, we keep it running. We're doing repairs on it, changing the pumps, fixing the pumps. Same thing with the conservatories. They got the little ponds in there, and we serve them, maintain them. You know, even the lakes and the lowlands. Sometimes we jump in there if we have to.
Wow.
You know, where else are we working at? Miami Beach.
Okay.
Lincoln Road. We do the ponds right in the middle of Lincoln Road. We did like 40 fountains for the city of Coral Gables.
Wow.
We did all the waterproofing and then some structural and plumbing work for those fountains with other contractors that are good buddies of mine. And, you know, those things weren't working for 30, 40 years.
And now
they're 100 years old.
Yeah, they're old, super old.
Those things were all open system and they leaked like a sip, you know.
Yeah.
And we went in there, sealed them, and made it a closed system.
So you first got into the fish, and then you got into making ponds, and now you got into maintaining them. So everything that you do for any of your clients,
we maintain.
You have a maintenance program that you set up to maintain the water, to maintain the fish, right?
That's where the money's at.
That's where the money's at. Well, that's like what we talked about yesterday. That's what keeps the money coming in while, let's say, you're on some downtime. Yeah. You still have a constant flow to be able to maintain your guys and maintain whatever you got going
floating.
on. Keep it floating.
Above water.
Above water, right? Not like a fish under the water.
Doing the doggy paddle.
Yeah, you're like the frog in the water, but your head's above and you're breathing. So that's insane in its whole thing. Like for me, that's more streams that you've created within your one business that now you saw the opportunities. And you're like, man, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do that.
So it was ponds originally. But in South Florida, because of the building code and our strict building code, we have probably one of the strictest in the nation.
Okay.
Besides California and New York.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
we're strict.
Because of the hurricanes, so everything has to be built that it can't fly away.
Okay. Yeah, very true.
Big footers and
so everything's concrete and rock and everything's heavy. Yeah.
You know,
built right.
Built right, exactly. Where there's people in the other parts of the country that they're building houses out of 2x4 and
wood,
and plywood.
No, we see that in Florida too. Like you go to up north Florida and everything's wood over there. A whole hotel made out of wood.
Yeah, crazy.
Which I don't know how that is, but that's what it is.
And particle board.
Particle board, a lot of particle board.
A lot of particle board.
So there's a lot that goes into it. A lot that goes into it.
So like when we started, it was ponds. But since I had the construction background, I was like, bueno, I can do structural work. I actually enjoy doing structural concrete rebar work. Don't get me wrong. It fascinates me still.
Okay.
And, you know, and I could build something and it could hold X amount of weight and loads. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a science to it.
A huge science. And so then I got into the waterproofing part of it. There's not a lot of people. There's a big void in waterproofing in this country.
Waterproofing is what? Making sure the water's clean and...
No, waterproofing is sealing a structure.
Sealing a structure. Okay.
You know, or like what we did in Coral Gables. Those fountains are rock. There's no rebar.
Oh, wow.
It's rock and mortar that's 100 years old. Some of them are 110, 90 years old.
Wow. So that's why they're leaking.
That's why they're leaking. So then, you know, the science is that the waterproofing, the membrane, the polymers and the polyurethane, how they all mix together and create a, you know, like a sealant or you know, a membrane where it holds the water.
Okay.
And that has to do with like preparation, application, and doing it right.
Okay.
You know, aquí todo el mundo wants to cut corners.
Yeah. You can't cut corners, they come to bite you later.
There's certain things you can't cut corners on your prepping and your application. You know, if you're supposed to clean it, you clean it.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't clean it. And then I've gone to places where I've literally grabbed the waterproofing and I peel the waterproofing up and I see the dirt stuck to the bottom of the waterproofing.
Wow.
And then the waterproofing stuck to the dirt and it didn't stick to the structure.
Wow.
You know, and you see that on high rises, a lot of big high rises. I've been doing a lot of commercial work, you know, and that's where you see those stuff. It's a big job, and they got some laborer applying the thing, and they don't train him correctly, and they hace mierda.
Wow. So there's so much. And then how did you get into maintaining the water, maintaining the flow, maintaining all of that? And the fish. How did you get into that? Because you're like a fish doctor.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I had a good employee. He wasn't cut out for construction.
Okay.
You know? So I said, I'm going to create this position for him.
Okay.
You know, Lewis has been with me going on like 5 years.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to make you my maintenance guy. And we started off with 2, 3, 5 years ago. You know, I maybe had like 3 or 4 that I was maintaining of clients of mine.
Okay.
Now we're doing like over 50.
Wow. And he's the head of that operation.
Well, he's one that helps run most of it. I got another one of my guys on that. And that's just going to keep growing. And then, you know, sooner or later, he'll be more of a manager position. And we'll put more guys under him. you know, and it's commercial accounts. We're doing the beach, doing this.
Yeah, yeah. What I love about that, and something so important about being a boss, is seeing that someone is not fit for that position that you hired them for, and now going and creating a whole nother avenue that this guy can thrive in, because you see the opportunity that he brings to the table, that he can continue to grow in his life, and you can grow the business, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly.
You know, so doing that is great.
Yeah, and the maintenance is a great thing because it keeps you in the client's yard.
Yes.
There's always something breaking, or this, or we got to add salt. You know, the fishes get sick. Now we got to put medication, antibiotic into the pond, take the fish out, diagnose the problem, bring out the microscope and the laptop.
Test the water, the whole nine.
Test the waters, that's religious. But then when we have a problem, we'll do more testing.
More testing.
I send fish to the labs. I have a pathologist in the University of Florida that I work with.
Wow.
You know, when you sell somebody a $10,000 koi fish and the fish gets sick,
Yeah.
they're gonna look at you, go, hey, what's going on? The fish is sick.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to react.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for a vet. If anybody knows a vet,
Fish vet,
a fish vet,
and you're local.
I need a fish vet.
Yeah. If
You
you're
know,
local, guys, you already know.
I know one guy up in Boca Raton, and he's trying to hit me over the head $1,000 a fish.
Yeah.
Because he knows they're $10,000 koi fish. I'm like, I'll give you $500 for the visit. Come over here, then diagnose it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
But the guy was a dick. But I need one. I need one, you know, and I've become a self-taught, you know, many things because of necessity.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and then I ask questions, and I'm not no doctor.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
but you have the energy and the willpower to learn and make it right for your customer.
I'm not gonna leave him hanging. That's just not me.
You're the guy they call. You're the man. So you got to figure it
And
out.
it sucks that sometimes you know, it's like koi fish. I was getting off the topic. Koi fish are genetically bred to a certain color,
Okay.
but when they reach that color, there was a genetic mutation somewhere way in the beginning, because the koi fish are gray and black and brown.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then there was a mutation, and one turned yellow or mustard yellow, like a chagoy, which is like an old school koi. And so then there was this mutation, and then the farmer saw the mutation, and they pulled it to the side, right? The story was the emperor was walking through the rice paddies, and he saw this one fish that was a different color from all the other ones. And then the emperor was like, oh, give me that fish, and took it to his palace. So then when all the farmers saw that the emperor bugged out about the koi fish that was a different color, they started looking for the genetic mutations within their breed of fish, because they were all gray, and then one would come out an oddball. So then they got the oddball from here, an oddball from there, an oddball from the other village, or her down the village they got one that's half colored, and then they started crossing them.
Wow.
And then they started creating more colors and more. So it's technically they just bred into, like they do dogs.
Yeah. They do
Like these
dogs
ugly
same way.
dogs that they have now with these short little bullies. Okay, that's the uglier the dog, the more money it is.
And dogs are insane, man. That's a whole nother world.
But it's a whole other world, but it's almost like the same thing. And they breed into a genetic mutation where the dog has a wider chest and shorter arms, and
Yeah, it's all just a different style they're creating.
different style they're
to
creating.
have something different to sell.
and that's what it was with the koi fish. And if you're breeding into a mistake of Mother Nature, you're gonna have a bunch of other problems way down the line.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know, look at the breed of Dalmatians. They have seizures, epilepsy, all these crazy things because they got overbred in the 40s or the 50s when the first Disney movie came out.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
You know, so it's like that shit has to fuck up the kois.
Yeah.
You know, and then I get
Over
koi
time.
fish, I get cancer, and they get these crazy growths, and
Yeah, they get the balls on them, and I've seen that.
you know that's why the Japanese koi are worth so much more, because of the culling process. So like they'll get one koi fish will spit out 500,000 eggs,
Okay. Wow, that many
right.
eggs they give?
up to maybe more or less, but it's
Wow, that
big
many
numbers.
eggs. Okay.
250,000, depending on the size of the fish, how old it is, how many eggs it can hold, because they can have eggs this big, and they could be 12 inches and have eggs
But don't they have a bunch of little eggs that stick together?
inside of them, and they could hold the eggs for a year and a half. And then koi fish used to be 6 inches long. The ones with the colors.
Yeah.
And over the years, there's koi fish 30 years ago that weren't bigger than 24 inches, and they would not grow bigger than 24 inches. And in the last 20 years, the Japanese have been breeding a magoi, which is like a larger breed koi, into the bloodlines to create bigger fish. to satisfy the Americans.
Oh my gosh! So they're breeding a whole different style of koi
In the last 20 years, the
with
kois
those
have gotten
colorful ones.
big.
Wow!
Now they're like, 90 centimeters, 36 inches, 34
Big
inches.
and beautiful tails and the whole nine.
The tails are more, it's more of an American thing.
Yeah,
The butterfly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not, you don't see a lot of them in Japan. They do breed them, but it's not.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Not like what we see here.
It's more the perfectly shaped, very symmetrical.
So on top of going and doing the pond and building everything and doing the slide and the waterfall and the whole nine,
That's the
this
fun
guy
part.
this guy builds things you would see at Disney World, basically. You go to Japan to go handpick fish for your clients.
Yeah.
So tell
And
us
for
about
myself.
that. And for yourself. Tell
for
us about
myself.
that. You did a trip that you vlogged that you guys can go on his
I've
IG.
gone
It's
twice to
there.
Japan.
You've gone twice
I've
to
gone
Japan.
twice to Japan. We're going in October. If anybody wants to go,
You already know. Just call him.
now's the
Eddie
time.
wants to go. Eddie wants to go. If you're
Come-
paying,
if
bro,
you
we'll
come
go.
with the camera. Maybe
I'll come with the GoPro. We'll make it happen.
So Japan, I have a buddy of mine that went, and then he has his plug over there, which is Tim Waddington,
Okay.
and Tim's very well established over there, and his family goes back in history in Japan.
Wow.
So he was the plug over there. Brian was already plugged in with him. Brian had gone once or twice, and I see him doing it on Facebook, and I was like, "Yo, I want to go."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, come," And I bought a ticket, and then I had my video guy, and I was like, "Papa, you're going with me."
Yeah. We're gonna do something with it.
No questions asked. So I bought tickets and we flew over there, and it was like on a whim. I didn't even have a passport. I started scrambling.
Yeah.
I did the rush passport thing. I got it like the day before the flight was supposed to leave.
Okay. This was how many years ago?
2019.
Okay, 3 years ago. Okay.
Wow, it was wild.
Beautiful.
Crazy flight over there, and it was fun because we went with my buddy Brian. He's my broker. He's up in Fitz's Fish.
He's a
Farm.
fish broker,
He's a pond builder.
pond builder.
He's younger than me. He's a badass.
Okay.
He builds ponds and he's got a koi. He's a koi dealer, koi farm, and he's a distributor for a big brand of pond products.
Wow. So he's a big boy. Where's he at?
He's up in New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
Yeah, homie stays hitting home runs.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Brian.
Yeah. Shout out to Brian.
So we fly out there, and we had guys from Costa Rica. We had some other guys from New Jersey. Zach. Zach's my dog.
Okay.
Who else was out there? His homie from Costa Rica. We had another homie from the Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands. So people from all over the world.
All over the world. There's some guy from California. So it was
And
like
these are all people that are in that world.
everybody was
Heavy,
with koi.
heavy in the world.
Big man, another guy from a couple guys from England, Scotland, stuff like that. And then we all hanging out in Japan.
That's amazing.
Koi fish, and then we stayed in Junko. It's like a little 5-block area in Tokyo that has like 500 bars.
Okay.
The bars are like the size
Like
of
a Key West.
No.
Different. Another level.
Another level. The Japanese drink.
Okay.
Those homies get down.
Okay.
They're big on respect, but son unos borrachos. And it was a party, man. We were hanging out the first 2 nights. It was like 1 night in Tokyo, 2 nights in Tokyo. And we did the All Japan Koi Show. It's like the biggest koi show in the world. It's held in Tokyo, where all the breeders from Japan bring all their kois, and that's where they crown the grand champion.
Wow.
That year it was a koi from Saki Fish Farm, and the thing sold for 1.8 million.
Wow.
That one
That's
broke
crazy
records.
that those fish sell for that.
1.8 million. This is a monster. It's a kuhaku, one of my favorite koi. It's a classic pattern.
Okay.
It was white and orange.
Okay.
It's a beast. 6 years old, $1.8 million.
Wow.
And it was kind of done to set a precedence.
Okay.
It was a Chinese businessman that bought it or something like that. And it's like they do with the tuna. They sell the tuna for $1 million
I didn't know about that.
to set the price of the market up high.
Oh, wow.
So they said that so that, they sell koi fish for $250,000.
Wow.
You go to a place like Dainichi, which is like the Gucci, the Prada.
Okay, of koi fish.
The koi
In
fish.
Japan.
In Japan. And you go in there and they got this one koi house and it's like this pond's 150 grand. This pond's 200 grand. All the fish in here are 200 grand each.
A piece.
A piece, 100 grand a piece. Over here, like 50.
And you can walk and look at them?
Yeah. And then like, all these are individually priced.
Wow.
And those are going.
So those people don't even sell anything little like that.
They do. They sell small fish like this for $1,000.
Wow.
So
it all depends on the breeder. It all depends on the brand, who did the fish.
Exactly. So then you go to other ones that the guy's got a little 1,200 square foot, maybe 1,500 square foot little house, and then he's got a little greenhouse in the back, and the greenhouse is 1,000 square feet, and he's got 5 concrete pools inside of it, and there he does he'll spawn 500,000 eggs. He'll keep less than 1%. He's keeping 2,000.
He doesn't have space.
Yeah, 3,000 eggs, 3,000 fish. And he keeps the best out of all of that. Wow. So every, I don't know, it's like 6 weeks, when they're tiny, they go through it and they cull it and they take out the ones that are not favorable, that don't have the right color or the right shape, and they kill them. They used to.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah.
They don't sell them off to someone else?
Some some farmers do. Some of the bigger ones.
Because there's a market for everything. In every market, there's the 1%ers and there's everything else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of the stuff goes to the Philippines.
Maybe.
There's a lot of breeding in the Philippines. A lot of scammers in the Philippines too.
I don't know about that world, so I can't say.
You see it on Facebook. On Facebook, I'm on a bunch of koi groups, and I see people getting done up by the old people overseas.
Oh wow!
They put all these pretty pictures, or they'll steal someone else's pictures,
and they post it, so then you go to buy it, and when you get it, it's a different fish.
Or you don't even get the fish.
Or you don't even get the fish. Wow.
And then sometimes you have breeders that'll sell you some shit, or a dealer, and they sell you a sick fish.
Oh, wow.
I had an issue where I'm not even going to get into that. But, so a guy sold one of my clients a sick fish.
Oh, wow.
And we got gangster on him.
Oh, yeah? You brought out that Miami, that 305.
Yeah.
You brought out the Miami 305.
Yeah, my client's a gangster, so we got gangster on him, and they're really totally gangster, but we went and we confronted him, I was like, hey, this is some flaw shit. A $10,000 fish, and you're selling it to me with shit that I can visually see that's
messed up.
Wrong, And he didn't make it right.
Wow.
So I have my feelings towards him, but that's the business. There's people that do that. There's people like sell trees with bugs on it.
Yeah, same thing.
And it's not as bad as when I get a sick fish. Now that fish, I put it in the pond, $10,000 fish. It took me over a year and a half to get rid of the problem.
Wow. Did the fish survive?
Yeah, the fish ended up dying.
Oh wow.
Like 6 months later.
Wow.
And that fish probably had a bunch of underlying health issues because of where it was kept prior to when it was brought here.
So that's why you want to get it from the specific breeder, the specific
and
company.
even then, I could have the fish in my backyard and they'll get sick.
Yeah.
If I don't know what I'm treating.
You don't know. That's why he needs the
vet.
The vet. And also something that he told me, that because I asked you yesterday, I said, what do people do when they have a $500,000 fish that dies? I asked you, do they stuff it and put it up on the wall? And because that's insane, right? Because that stuff really does happen. And you told me
I might do that.
You might do that. I would do that.
Some people might get offended, but
Well, I'm just saying. So you told me that they have insurance for fish.
Yeah.
Insurance policies for fish. I know they have it for the horses. So if you have $1 million koi fish, you can get something called an aquarium insurance policy.
Yes.
And by getting that, now your fish are insured. You do have to have, because we talked about it and I read into it, there's a lot of requirements. Yeah. Multiple pumps, multiple filtration system, multiple things.
You have to build a complete fail-safe, bulletproof system.
Pond, yeah.
That when everything fails, there's still a generator to the.
Yeah. So, but you can do that, and that costs a lot of money to do. But if you're spending all this money on these fish and on the pond that he built, you have money to insure it and get it right. So that's what's good about the aquarium insurance policy, that it does exist and you can get it. I don't know any names. He's not affiliated with anybody, so we don't know any of the names that you can call.
You're going to have to go to some...
No, just type it in, guys. Type it in on Google. Aquarium insurance policy. Yeah.
And the way insurance is nowadays, I don't know who's going to really want to take that kind of liability.
No,
risk.
but it exists, because I typed it up and a bunch of people showed up.
Yeah.
So just Google it, guys. So you did that in Japan. Now you're going to go in October.
We're going to go again.
What's the mission in October?
The mission in October to So I'm closing on a property soon,
Okay.
and I'm stepping up my game.
Oh, I like
Right.
it.
And we're gonna build a koi house. Like I don't sell to the public right now.
Okay. But
If
you have course,
I have koi, you know, I sold $75,000 last year,
of course.
and not selling to the public.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
really, but you're connected in a different
So
way.
I'm selling it to my clients. I build a pond. The guy drops $30,000, $40,000 of fish.
Yeah. Yeah, to fill it up.
You know, and so I've noticed I'm getting successful at this. So
Okay.
I'm gonna build a place and bring in more fish than what I originally, you know, than what I'm normally bringing in. We're gonna up the intake
Okay.
and try to, you know, step up the scale and produce high quality koi fish in South Florida. There might be one other guy that's doing it, one of my homies, that can actually give you good quality fish, healthy fish that he can stand behind and guarantee. I want to create an experience. I want to build something that so my really high end clients can come over to my place and they have an experience. I figure out what they want to drink. I talk to their handlers,
Yeah.
you know, and we set it up so that when they come in, you know, we got air conditioned house, a couch, and all the Gucci fish are in 1, 2 tanks.
Okay.
And there's couches and it's very VIP, and they sit down and we catch the fish and put it in the bowl and bring it to them while they drink their wine or smoke their weed, whatever they want to do. And they could do it and have a good time, and then they pick their fish and they leave, and then we take their fish, you know, when it's the right opportunity.
No, what you're building is, well, for one, what I see is you're reinvesting, right? You see the
100%.
opportunity of reinvesting to keep growing. And you're building, you're basically, you have a circle. You get me? That you do everything from start to finish, and then you continue on with the maintenance of it. And then you never know what can come from that. And you work for the 1%, right? You don't do a $5,000 pond anymore. What's your minimum for a pond?
So my minimum, we're 25.
25 grand minimum.
25, 30,000,
How long would someone have to wait for you to jump on a $25,000-$30,000 pond?
depending how excited I am about their project.
Yeah, because I know you're busy. You're doing how many ponds right now?
4, 5,
4, and
5.
they average from
I got
what?
4 ponds and a pool going on.
What are they average in price?
25, 30. Well, right now the average is of what we got going on, 52,000 to 100 plus.
To 100 plus. Yeah. Okay, and what's the most, let's say, extravagant, crazy money, like the most money you've ever gotten for one of these ponds that you've built? Like at one shot to actually do it.
Coño. Like a 200 grand.
200 grand. But that's something over the top, beautiful, next level.
Yeah. We've done some projects that the whole ticket, when you put it together,
Yeah, it's huge.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Millions.
Millions.
You know, the one backyard, the one in Portland, that one was
You did one, what, in Oregon? Portland, Oregon? So they flew you out there?
We were supposed to do it. I dragged my feet. Somebody else started it. Then we came in and tried to save the day.
Okay.
You know, they built a bunch of things wrong.
Yeah, but at least you came in at an early time.
And even then, it didn't come out right. You know, and these are things that happen when you know, shit wants to get done in a rush, and it's you know, and too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Okay, that's
You know,
true.
that's what it came down to. And a tipo that was doing the pool did whatever the he wanted to do, what was easy for him.
Okay.
And then afterwards, just like deal with it. And the designer that they paid a bunch of money for, I think he just didn't know what he was doing.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah, because you know what it is.
It's not even that. I don't know Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay, that's a whole other monster over there.
Yeah.
But I know construction, I know maintenance, and I know if you build a pond under a fucking pine tree, shit's gonna fall in there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna clog the filter. It's gonna do a bunch of stuff.
You know, and these are pine trees, not like our pine trees here are babies, Bubble. Our pine trees here are 20 feet, 30 feet. Those pine trees are 150 feet tall. Wow. And, you know, there's the width of this room.
The trunk.
Yeah. And the pines are like this big.
Yeah.
You know, and the sap.
No, and then you have the birds that are leaving their droppings in the water, all that stuff.
And just the environment over there is completely different. And they put the pond under the trees. And, you know, he did what he wanted to do, his envisionment, but he didn't think about the longevity of the project.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of things I see here in South Florida. with the ponds, like the one I was telling you, like the natural lagunas. You got a lot of guys down here, down south, that build them. And I hate those ponds. They get these things, they build these Aztec pyramids, and they stack all these rocks up. You know, and it looks like una muralla.
Like a triangle.
You know, like a volcano.
Yeah.
And they look cool, but they dig these things 15 feet deep, 12 feet deep, 16 feet deep. There's a foot of sludge and slime in the bottom of it, you know, and you can never clean it unless you go scuba diving.
What's the average depth that you do a pond? Like if it's dedicated for fish?
4 feet, 5 feet, 3 feet.
So low.
In comparison, there's people that do them 12 inches. Code is 24 inches.
Code is 24.
Anything deeper than 24 inches is considered a pool in South Florida.
Oh, yeah?
So everybody wants to build their pond 18 inches, at least the builders. So then that's a big problem. They don't want it, because if you go deeper than 18 inches, now you have to meet the requirements of a pool, and you got to have all the safety requirements. So it turned your fountain into a swimming pool.
Oh, wow.
So people don't want to make them deeper. So everybody wants to do them shallow. And then you got the guy that buys a house with a fountain in it, and he's like, oh, I want to put koi fish in here. And we're like, 18 inches is optimal depth for an osprey or a herring or an egret to come and eat your fish. You know, a blue herring will stand in 18 inches of water and comete todo lo pescado.
They'll eat all your fish. So there's a lot of prep work that goes into doing this. A lot of thought, a lot of everything.
Yeah, it's and even then I'll be building something and then I'll be like, go on, I forgot.
Yeah. Do you freestyle what you build, or do you sit down and design it?
It depends. I love freestyling what I build. It's hard when you're doing a big project. You know, you're doing $90,000 project, and the client's like, oh, just do what you want, do what you think looks good. I'm like, okay, awesome. And then I got my idea, and he's like, oh, give me a sketch. I'm like,
yeah, because now you got to stop everything you're doing and try to put it on paper.
No, because then I got to stick to the sketch.
That's the truth.
Yeah. That's the thing. And once you give them a design, now they have an idea. Oh, but this, and then if you're halfway through and you're like, oh, I don't want to put this shit here. It look better if I move more this way, because a lot of times it's just a conceptual idea. And it's just, and then now you're married to it.
No, and also the product you're using. Let's say rocks. I know rocks come all different shapes and sizes. You have the new lights, all this different stuff that you use. That what you got might not be what you thought you were gonna get for that one specific part. So now you have to switch it up a little bit.
No, or make it.
Or make it. Oh wow! So you can make rocks.
Make the rocks. If it don't fit, make it.
Oh yeah. How does that process work?
Depends on the rock. I do it a lot. Like the Deerfield, almost all my spillways are fake rock.
Wow.
You know, like, so the big job in Deerfield Beach, I think, has total project 600 tons of rock.
600 tons.
Not including the river rock in the beds. That's another 250, 300 tons.
Okay. That's insane.
600 tons. We did two phases.
Okay.
The first phase, metimos 250, 300 tons, and then the other one was another 300 tons. And the rocks are 6 feet by 4 feet, 7,000 pounds each rock.
Wow.
And I put the rocks, and then I can't find that rock in between to make the spillway. Well, foam and wire mesh and concrete.
Oh, so you make it like that?
Make them.
So you make them with foam, wire mesh, and then you concrete and make it look.
Sometimes I'll put two rocks under it, some rebar, and that's it. Y dale.
And you paint it, whatever, make it match. Yeah.
Sometimes,
that's crazy.
Sometimes we like that project. I didn't even paint them.
You didn't paint them.
That was, it was oolite. So it was oolite and limestone. We did a mix of both. Mm-hmm. So the rock is white. It's a base of white. Mm-hmm. So
like
I just
creamy white.
White concrete, and once the water starts flowing, it naturally ages. And
white concrete. So the concrete is dyed. Well, it has the color in it.
I let it age naturally.
That's so interesting.
And then, like, we do the concrete stuff, the fake rock, which is like the Disney World stuff, like you say. And to me, that
make the slides. It looks like a tree. I saw that. I saw it on Instagram.
So for many years, I was trying to figure that out, because I like to be able to do things. Mm-hmm. A trade, a craft, a skill. I like to be able to say, "Coño, I can do it. I can tattoo.
Oh yeah,
I can airbrush. I can weld.
Oh yeah, you've learned.
So it's like whatever.
Jack of all trades.
I don't like to say it because people hate on them. You know, but whatever it is, put it there. I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
Into the slides, right? So I built one in my backyard in my pool, right? I did the waterfall thing, and it shit looked like Jabba the Hutt.
Okay.
It looked like this big blob on the side of the thing.
Uh-huh.
It looked cool for a couple of years, and then I was like, all right, I don't like it. And then I'm like Googling shit, looking on YouTube, trying to figure out, because my mix wasn't right.
The mix of concrete.
The mix of concrete. I was missing the sauce.
Okay. So
Right,
you found the sauce.
I was missing the sauce, bro. When I'm looking and I'm looking at videos, but my attention span isn't there. Right?
Okay.
So I watch a video the first 5 minutes. If it doesn't get me,
You're done.
I'm done.
Uh-huh.
And then on Instagram, like we're going back to Instagram. On Instagram, I find this guy Warren Ness. Shout out to Warren Ness. He's the badass.
Okay.
So I find my boy Warren. Right, Warren's my homie now. This is my dog.
And this is all through Instagram.
It's all through Instagram. I find Warren on Instagram, and I'm looking at his shit. I'm like, bro, this nigga's a badass. He does these fake rocks, museum style work.
Beautiful.
Or museum quality work.
Yeah. Super high end.
Right? And he's a teacher more than anything. And he produced or helped create his own admix, right? Which you add this to standard stucco or Portland mix or a concrete blend, Portland and sand. And this is an additive. It's polymer, microfibers, and other little.
It thickens it up.
It thickens it up, makes it real sticky.
Okay.
And it helps you create that material to put that texture and the look, the finished look on the rock.
Like a putty almost.
And he was teaching classes up in Orlando. $2,500 for a class, for a 3-day class. I was like, bro, this is worth every penny. I paid for it, and I drove up there. Well, me and that homie hit it off. I got him working on a project with me now. I'm flying him down hopefully in 2-3 months, and we're doing a bar inside of a restaurant. It's a concrete log that's like 30 feet long with a glass. And
so you do that too?
Yeah. So I'm in all kinds of stuff. I'm doing faux concrete. And then he taught me the little secrets that I was missing. And then I've been practicing, and I've just been stepping up my game. And now I'll take on a full construction, full rock waterfall. And if it's something that we need more help, I got people across the whole country. I'll bring in some of the best in the country.
That's insane.
They become my buddies and my friends, and I'll call them up and I say, hey, I need your help.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm going to pay you.
Yeah.
And if you do it in the wintertime, I'm bringing them all down because they're not working.
Yeah, they're not working.
They're sitting down, watching us on Instagram work down here.
Yeah.
So
no, but that's crazy. That's crazy now that you've got to the point, that pinnacle point, that you can now jump into anything. You're using all the stuff that you learned back in the day, using the construction that your pops taught you, the fish that you fell in love with at 12 years old. Yeah. You're bringing all that and you're intertwining years of experience,
and
right?
We're growing plants too. So.
And you're growing plants because you do that. But we'll hit that now. You can build anything and do anything you want for anyone that calls you. And if it sounds interesting, you're there. You just want it to be interesting. You don't want it to be
I want them to
commercialized.
I want them to stimulate me.
Yeah,
make
test
me think.
them.
Make
Test
me think. Give me a challenge.
Challenge you. So, and that's crazy. And now you even do the plants, that you integrate plants throughout the whole waterfall, the whole pond.
One thing that I'm big on, I tell people, a pond without plants is a fucking stack of rocks.
True. Yeah. Depending how you look at it. Yeah.
A natural looking setting. You don't put plants in that thing, you got a stack of rocks.
Yeah, it doesn't look. It's not finished.
It's not finished. I see a lot of pond builders that post these pictures, and it's a waterfall, and the water looks nice, it looks badass, but it's a stack of rocks.
Yeah.
You go to any river, unless it's frozen with ice, but you go to any river anywhere, there's little things of grass growing in it and green.
Yeah, if you're building a natural looking structure, you want it to be as natural as possible.
So I love plants. Ultimately, how I ended up finding ponds was because I was looking for water lilies.
Yeah, plants.
And that's all part of it. So it's like once I put a nice tree behind here, it's going to complement the waterfall. Aquatic plants or create the ecosystem and balance it with the fish. Even though I don't put plants in koi ponds, but I build other eco ponds. Everybody likes plants, and some koi ponds do have lilies in them. But the kois tend to eat them.
Oh, wow.
And then I have some people that we grow the lilies, and the fish eat the lilies. And then every 2 weeks or a week, we're taking out the lily after it gets beat up, and I bring them a
putting
new
another
lily,
one.
and I put in another one, and they'll again, and then we take it out, and we bring another one, and every one's $50.
Yeah.
$60 for every lily, and
And there's nothing you can do because unless you build some type of metal net around
we
it.
put a netter on it, but sometimes they jump in it. I have other clients that want the flower in a certain area that there's no sun. It just fascinates me, but I go, that's what you want? Okay. And I bring it to him. And when I bring it to him, I said, this is going to die.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2 to 3 weeks, it's not going to give you any more flesh. He goes, okay, well, when that happens, you bring me another one.
Bring me another one because you're working for the 1%, man.
And it's just
$50 is nothing.
like,
$50 is nothing.
That's what I got to pay to have my flowers here? Okay. Put it on the monthly bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we just keep the flowers coming.
Yeah. They spend $3,000 a year on one plant.
On one plant.
On one plant in the same spot.
And they'll spend 15, 20 on their maintenance.
Yeah, but that's what it is. There's people that for 20 grand is nothing. 20 grand is chump change because they're making millions of dollars a year. So 20 grand for them is $50 for us or $100, right? There's all different types of people in the world. But your craft, your craftsmanship, your ballsy moves that you've made throughout your life, and the knowledge, the experience, the credibility that you have today, has gotten you to where you are. That you have all these massive jobs and these massive things, these opportunities that you've grasped a hold of. Not said, oh, I don't know if I can do it. You say, yes, I'm up for the challenge with that positive mindset. Look where it's gotten you to now that you are connected globally, basically, with all these different koi guys, all the different builders throughout the United States, that you can team up with and now do something of a different, epic for the customer, right? And continue getting more things under your belt, and building relationships with these guys because you guys are in the same industry, you do the same style of things. So it really brings you guys together, and that's super cool. And now you're going to go to Japan again. It's just awesome.
Como dicen, la fuerza está en la unidad.
Yeah. The force is in the unity.
Yeah. And I'm a competitive person. So sometimes that whole thing, like, on your team, I'm doing it by myself. And it took me a while to be able to say, no, man, I need people.
Yeah, I need help. Yeah,
I need help. I can't do this shit by myself. And here in South Florida, there's no industry of ponds.
Yeah, you're a very small niche.
Very, very small niche. I've tried to reach out to some of the local guys. Some of the local guys have probably found me intimidating. One of the guys went to one of the distributors and sent an email saying that, the vendors show favoritism toward me and he feels intimidated when I walk in like that. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't go there anymore. But people hate, People hate. Like, literally, the corporate calls me and says, oh, yeah, bro, what are you doing,
Yeah. I'm not doing nothing. I just walked in the room.
I'm being myself, And so there's no industry here.
Yeah.
And I see new guys coming up and I go, hey, man, you build ponds? I do too.
Yeah.
I'll give you 35% off retail. I'll sell you equipment. I got ponds, pumps, filters, liner. What do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll be like, some will be like, okay, cool. Some will be like, oh no, what do you mean you want to help me out?
Yeah.
If I help you, you help me.
It's just a lot of people don't help.
And it's
right? And that's some of the backlash that, let's say, we've got with this, podcast. Really, how are you going to talk about business? How are you going to talk about tricks? How are you going to talk about all this stuff? And it's like, guys, it's okay, It's okay.
When people see you as a teacher, well, it puts you in a whole other light. You know what I'm saying? You're not just some Joe Schmo, bro. You're giving them knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some people are
that's
just
what you're
ignorant.
doing.
Some people are just ignorant, and they can't understand that, and their brains are too small.
Yeah. No, but it is what it is. But you've even extended your hand to look out for these guys and even maybe throw them some jobs, throw them some work.
No, see, look, I have guys that work for me, and they leave because I'm an asshole. Straight up. One guy left because I'm an asshole. I'm tough on my people. You don't do what I say, I might scream at you. I'm going to hurt your feelings. You do something wrong, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to tell you you're an idiot. And that's just me. And I'll apologize afterwards if I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
But I'm a dick. You know what I'm saying? And I treat my people sometimes too rough. And I've had people leave me. And this guy goes and builds ponds. But he was a straight up honest dude. You know what I'm saying? And I shoot him work. Little things that I don't want, I shoot it to him.
Yeah.
Because what am I going to do? Just leave it on the floor. I know he's a straight shooter.
He's going to come through for the client.
And, it might not be the best. And I'll tell him, hey, maybe that guy's not the best, but he's got good intentions. Call him.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I keep growing. Because I keep trying to bless everybody else. Even if we fell off, but why am I going to? And I knew it was most likely me.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's my fault. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm well aware of that. And I'm well aware of my imperfections and my flaws. You know, and I would try to work on it.
But that all comes through from your background, your upbringing. You know, you going to prison. What do they expect? That little dandelion out there?
Yeah, ain't no bitch.
You know, you're a beast. You get me? So that's what it is. It's like, hey, you coming to work here? I might scream at you. I just know I love you.
We pirates.
You know, we're pirates. That's why you're the palm pirate.
Pirates.
I might love you. We'll have lunch. But I might scream at you from 10, till lunchtime. But we'll sit down and have a sandwich together. That's
I always
that's
buy
what
my
it is.
guys lunch.
Uh-huh.
You know, I take care of them. I try to take care of them. At least within what I think it is, I take care of them.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, they make me money.
Yeah.
If I don't take care of them, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah. No, you can't build what you're pitching to the customer, what you have envisioned. You can't really put it together by yourself with your two hands. You need a crew to come through and make it. You know, regardless of where you are, where they are, regardless of where the customer is, the client is, you will fly out and take care of whatever they got going on if you're up for the challenge.
If they got a budget.
If they have a budget.
That's what I tell people. If you got a budget and it makes sense to me, I'm there.
You're there. So you can go anywhere, do whatever it is. If you guys are looking for koi's, he's going to have his place up that I would love to go vlog it. Yeah. I would love to go vlog it and showcase it. Maybe we hit up a couple ponds that day and we learn all about koi fish with you, and you could be our tour guide.
I can take you to several of them.
Yeah. Well, you could be our tour guide and show us what we're looking at. And it's insane, dude. How do people get in touch with you? You have your Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Bella's Aquatic Gardens. We also got Pond Pirates, which is the brand.
Pond Pirates is on Instagram as well?
It's on Instagram as well. My phone number is listed. It's everywhere.
You have
786-287-0025. If you call, I'm going to answer the phone.
That's what I like about it. I called Eric and he answered. Pond Pirates on YouTube, that's the channel name?
That's the channel.
And you haven't done anything with it for about a year.
Has it been? No.
Yeah, well, I see it says a year.
Maybe, I don't know.
Time flies, bro.
It's my video guys. They're dragging their feet on me.
They're dragging their feet. We gotta get new ones.
And the thing is, I have been putting on stuff, but I put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, the YouTube is something because I know I need to do it.
Yeah.
And I should be doing it, but I don't do it enough.
Yeah, Instagram is more connected with the person.
Instagram is just easier for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I haven't taken the time to learn how to upload a video. Probably that's
what onto YouTube. That's the easiest thing. The only thing you need is like a fast upload speed. Because if not, it'll take you 4 days to upload.
I'm just lazy. I'll try to get somebody in my office to do it. Or you need to learn how to do this.
Yeah. No, man, you're not lazy, bro. You have a bunch of stuff going on, and YouTube is the last thing that you care about.
Yeah. But let me tell you though, you know, I have a job that might happen in Aruba. Because of my YouTube.
No, and not just that, but you want to film that and you want to put it on YouTube.
So it's like, to me, it's a tool for me.
Yeah, it's a tool.
My YouTube channel right now is going to do one or two things. Impress them in person or intimidate them.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to do. That person's going to go, oh, this guy's too serious for me. I can't afford him. Or that guy's going to go, oh, this guy's crazy. I want him to do my pond.
Yeah.
Or I want him to do my backyard.
I want him to
It's going to do one or other. It's either going to let you know you can or you can't.
Yeah. No, and you show the whole process. Like I went through your stories on Instagram. You show the whole process of what you're doing, what you're laying, you know, talking about your guys, that it was raining and they're still out there duking it out.
Yeah.
You know, and so you are very active on Instagram.
If you guys want to see behind the scenes, I show it the way it is.
On IG and
on IG, on my stories, I show behind the scenes. I try to keep it pretty on my post, you know?
Yeah, the post.
But I like to show people, you know, what we're doing, what I'm getting into every day. You know, it depends the mood I'm in. My Instagram is a big reflection of my mood.
Yeah.
If I'm in a bad mood, I'm probably not going to post. If I have a real crazy day,
yeah.
You know, but if I'm in a good mood, I'll be f***ing around and posting, and it helps my day go by faster. And it just keeps that conversation going with everybody.
Yeah.
Like I have conversations going with
people, a bunch of people
all over the country.
And if someone wanted to reach out and connect with you, say what's up, ask you a question, someone that's in your world, they're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah,
so you guys can go straight on Instagram, shoot him a DM, and you already know that he'll get back to you when he can. It's super cool.
You can call me. I've had several guys fly me out to, you know, they get a problem. Hey, come on here, take a look at this.
Oh wow.
You know, and I won't charge them a lot of money either. You know what I'm saying? Just to cover my time and to cover the flight and stuff like that. And if it's something where I can go abroad and do something different, I'm all for that.
It's a brotherhood.
100%.
It's a brotherhood. Just like our industry, I'm in the plant world, and it is a brotherhood.
Yeah.
We're all competition, but we all pull strings to help each other out.
100%.
And we all buy from each other. We all help each other out. Hey, man, my plants look a little yellow. What fertilizer did you use? Because it's nice and green. Oh, I used this one. Oh, that's why. Oh, okay. And like that, man, all day long.
Yeah, so it's like the one homie that I get this filters from this guy.
Yeah.
This filters from this guy, pumps from this guy. And it's my little network of people, and everybody tries to help each other out. And then it's like one guy will call me, hey, where do I get this at? I'm like, oh, call Fulano. He's been doing that forever.
He's got it. And now you hooked them up.
You know, and like just now I got a group on Facebook, which is the Pond Diggers group.
Okay.
It's the Helix Life Support. Helix is
the Pond Digger is the guy
in California.
In California.
Great, big inspiration to me. Shout out to Eric Triplet, and he has a little group there, and then a guy from Alabama he posted a picture of a type of limestone. Hey, I need this limestone, right? And then there's another guy that's in the same industry, but from a different clique.
Okay.
Right, because he's not in the Helix clique. He's an Aquascape guy. Because like the industry is literally split in half.
Okay.
You know, they got one brand, and then it sucks. In a way.
Okay.
But they're just haters like that.
Okay.
and then the guy's in Alabama, and the other guy's in Alabama, but they don't
talk to
They
each
don't
other.
know, and it's like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's got 500 acres of rocks. Go call him.
And he's down the street.
He's down the street, you know. So, and that's the power of social media.
No, but that's
what we do.
What I love is that on top of all the things you do, you still make time to give back. You still make time to show love and to help others out. That way they can continue doing what they're trying to do.
So it keeps coming back to me.
No, well, that's how it is. The circle of life. No, but intentionally you don't do it. If you do it out of love and you have a high energy to do it, that's not you looking for anything back. That's you giving out of the grace of your heart and wanting to. And if it comes back, it does. If it don't, it doesn't. But it's not intentionally. It's just that's who you are naturally.
It's gonna come back. It always comes back.
It always comes back. Well, you guys heard it first right here. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Erick Santana. So thank you, brother, for coming on. It was awesome to hear your wild, crazy story of just everything you've been through that has gotten you here, and how, you can do it. The School of Hard Knocks has gotten you here, and falling on the ground, learning, through jail time, prison time, the whole nine, and that's what it took to get you out and on the ball. And now you're full throttle. I can't wait for the fish farm here in the local town of the Redlands.
Down the street.
So stay tuned for that. All right? Guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast on YouTube and also listening to it on all the podcast streams. Have an awesome day, guys. God bless you. And get ready for the next one, because you already know it's going to be fire. Bye, guys.